Hi, I'm Alisha. This is the video blog for the media fast that we had to do for our media assignment. Basically, what we did was cut ourselves off from media for 24 hours. I'm not gonna lie, I found it very difficult. I think more it was difficult because it was hard to define what I thought was media. Talking to people, I found a lot of people just saw media as a communicational device, such as mass media with television and internet. However, looking back at my lectures and notes, I found it to be much more than that. Media is more of communication of a message, of signs and symbols. Therefore, messages and symbols are all around us. So I thought from the beginning it was going to be a difficult task, since avoiding symbols and everything around us is practically probably impossible. So prior to the fast, I love my phone. I love any type of media because I'm always on it and constantly need it to process in my normal routine. So in order to do it, I had to give everything to my next door neighbour because I couldn't even have it in the flat because I knew in that close proximity I probably failed the task. So yeah, I gave it back to the next door and then said don't want it back for 24 hours. And as soon as I walked back to my room, I just felt so strange without my phone. It was 12 o'clock at night, and normally before I go to sleep I would set my alarm. Because I didn't have my phone already, I was worried about how I was going to wake up, what time I was going to wake up. So it was very difficult already. What I found when I started the fast was the alteration in my feelings. I felt a lot of depression and isolation, as well as though guilt, because I'm so normally reliant on technology, not having it, and then relying on others instead to help me out, especially the fact that I had no access of time without my flatmates. So this reliance on them made me feel guilty, and therefore I didn't want to disturb them all day, which then caused me to isolate myself. That isolation then made me feel depressed and lonely, and because I had no media to interact with, I was simply bored. One thing that I did predict out of the fast was that I would become more productive. We read studies in the seminar groups that show how using the internet and constant distraction creates overthinking, and therefore division of attention is spread out by a lot of different tasks. However, without media, I should become more focused, and I've read articles that have talked about detoxes and how their productivity levels have increased. However, with me, that was significantly different because I felt extremely like I couldn't focus on anything. I was still distracted because I didn't know what I was allowed to do. I couldn't even read a book or watch a film because that's still media. So I felt just extremely not knowing what to do with my time, and it was just really difficult. As well, when I left my flat, the feelings that I got when I was leaving without having my phone in hand and my iPod were extremely annoying. I'm so used to having my phone. I kept suddenly checking where is it, but it was really difficult, especially because I don't, in awkward situations where you're waiting to enter and you don't know where to look, and the phone and your iPod kind of provides you with your own little bubble to go into and no one distracts you. So as well, when I was walking up the spine, there was people handing out leaflets, and because I didn't have anything to distract myself with, I knew that they would target me, but because I was trying to avoid this media, it was very, very difficult. Another thing that was particularly impacted was my routine. This was something I didn't really anticipate. Media forms my routine, partly through obviously things such as the interactive timetable and student portal, which I still barely can remember my timetable, so not having that was a bit worrying. But as well, not having my alarm. But most particularly, what I didn't realise I had missed would be music. Music is something that familiarises myself with routine, so without it, my routine didn't function properly. So when I was really bored or isolated, I wanted to do chores such as tidying my room. However, that I couldn't do it because I didn't have the music, so therefore I couldn't focus. So that was very annoying. As well, I want to talk about how I unconsciously accidentally broke the fast on a number of occasions. This was like, my friend wanted me to pick up a drink for her as well, so I went to the shop and immediately just saw that the drink was on offer of £1, then I immediately went to that and didn't realise that I actually just engaged in media. As well, things such as semiotics are constantly engaging us in symbols that are so mundane. I've been engaged in them completely without realising. Even looking at a direction somewhere is engaging with some sort of media, and I definitely see media now as completely unavoidable. This kind of makes me think that it's worrying for us for the future that if we're so reliant on it, but media enables us in so many ways and enables me, that it forms part of my identity of who I am because I need it for my routines and it changes my behaviours that I've noticed through the day. And without media, I don't know who I would be or what I would even do with my time. So the media immersion, that day I consumed myself with media and enjoyed it. Straight away, though, as soon as I got my phone back, I immediately went on it at 12 o'clock. That's how badly I missed it. I didn't bother going to sleep early. I was determined to stay out with my phone. Particularly because I'm in a long distance relationship, so I rely on my phone as part of sustaining that relationship and communication frequently. Without that, it would be much more difficult because media can compress space and time, and we all rely on that for our close networks that we have. So the immersion, basically, I was much more aware of different media around us, and it just showed how much there is out there that's trying to communicate to us, that we're almost being bombarded by these messages. And I would have thought that I wouldn't want to use media after the fast to prove that I couldn't, but in fact I kind of gave in and realised that it is part of us and we need it to function in our everyday routines. So that was the end of that. So thanks, bye.